Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
My name is Zoe Hinton. This is Star Wars Geek Girl podcast. Please remember to rate our podcast and check out our website, starwarsgeekgirl.com. We will have comic codes later in the show, and we have a special guest today, Lizzy Perales.
Hi. What's up?
So, first we're talking about females in fandom and some of our favorite strong female characters.
Yes. All right.
Alright, so females in fandom, I guess. There is one woman that we all love, Ashley Eckstein, runs her universe, so she has all the awesome clothes and everything.
I love her clothes, especially the Sabine shirt, which is just awesome.
It's just awesome. I have that too.
Yeah.
I actually got to meet her at Disney World Star Wars weekend, and she was probably the nicest person you'll ever get to meet.
I've seen her a few times at Comic-Con, and yeah. she's really nice, and she's just so nice, I swear.
She is very nice. And she does voice Ahsoka Tano, which relates to strong female characters, and I think she was our first leading non-human female character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she was very developed too. Like she had a backstory and she had like in-depth traits. And then Vanessa Marshall, she's Hera Syndulla on Rebels, and she's new to this. Well, not new to the fandom, but she's new to like being a leader in the fandom. And she has a column in Star Wars Insider, and she's very supportive of the fandom, and she's always like very, very nice.
Yeah, I've seen her at a few panels in like cons, and it's just so awesome to see her, because you don't really. I guess whenever I see her, I don't picture her as Hera, but I hear it in her voice. Like, it's, yeah.
And, I don't know, she seems very enthusiastic about everything, which is always very good. And in a lot of her panels, like, she always seems to be kind of like the Hera of the voices of the Ghost crew, like, just kind of like, not technically the leader, but basically the leader. She's kind of like, I don't know.
The mother.
She cares. Yeah, she's the mother. She cares about everybody, and she's very like empathetic.
Yeah.
Hera Syndulla is a cool character as well, who she voices. She is like the mother, but she's also like she can like hold her own, and she's not like helpless.
Yeah, I love that she's a strong and smart character, and. Yeah, kind of think. Yeah. And I always see her as just as really funny. And funny. When it comes to Kanan, she's very protective. When it comes to the whole crew, she's very protective too. And she's very smart, and she gives good advice, just like a mother would. So, yeah.
And then her daughter, Sabine.
Yeah.
Oh
my god, Sabine's awesome.
We both love Sabine.
Yeah.
She's definitely something new, because we haven't really seen an artist so much in Star Wars, but she is an artist. So she's new. She's a new kind of character, but I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, she's smart and awesome, an artist too. I really felt like I could connect with her because she has somewhat of an attitude, and she's funny and smart, and she's an artist. I love that. I love all her armor and all the colors on it and the designs. I thought the designs were just awesome for her.
Yes, her design, and they changed now in season 2.
Yeah.
She has new everything, which it still looks cool.
It's awesome, yeah. I was thinking that when she changed her image, I thought she would be using some stuff in her Star Wars Sabine sketchbook, but it didn't really seem like it. But it was still pretty cool.
Maybe we'll see her jetpack at some point. Who knows?
Yeah.
That would be cool. Flying Sabine. Nothing can go wrong. And then, but Tia Sakar, she definitely seems very new. She seems very new to being in like something that revolves around a fandom. But she seems very nice. I haven't really met her, but in her panel, she seems very nice and like she's really cool.
Yeah, she's really nice, and I've only like met her once, but yeah, she was really nice, and yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and then let's see other awesome characters. Well, there's Leia, obviously, who was our first.
Leia. Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to see her in Rebels because she would be involved at this point with Bail Organa.
And like she would be sort of younger in the New Hope, so
she would be about Ezra's age.
Yeah. Would she be older or younger than Sabine? Older, right?
No, a little younger, because Sabine's about a year older than Ezra, and Ezra's a few days older than Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
So, I feel like Ezra would like kind of like how he has a crush on Sabine. Like he'd try to like flirt with Leia, and she'd just shut him down. Like I feel like that would totally happen.
That would be funny.
Let's see. So there's Padme. She was our second female, like leading female character. I liked her. She had a lot of she was a queen at a very young age, so she was very like powerful and good with politics. In the Clone Wars, we saw her like doing a lot more with like her power and her political power, and trying to like close the war, which didn't really work out too well. But I mean, she tried.
I think she has too many outfits.
Too many outfits.
I can't keep track of all of them.
I mean, if someone wants to have all of Padme's outfits, they better have maybe like a lot of money. Just because there's so many and they're so elaborate, and her hair.
They have a lot of cool details, and yeah, they're actually really cool. Some of them. Not a fan of all of them, but most of them. I love the one in Attack of the Clones where she's at Naboo and they're running in the fields. That dress is just awesome.
That one I like that one.
Yeah.
And then the one she mostly wears in the Clone Wars, like that purple one, and then her hair's.
Yeah.
Well, we later find out that she can take that off. That's like a wig, I guess. One episode that completely blew my mind. Like, what? That's not her real hair?
I remember I have a bunch of like Star Wars Galactic heroes, and so they would have a bunch of Padmes with just different dresses and a bunch of Leias with different outfits. And I would always put them together and just look at all the details and look how awesome they look.
So many Padme.
There were so many.
She does have a lot of dresses, and a lot of them are very, very elaborate and fancy. She is, like, outside of her clothes, she is very, like, she can hold her own when it comes down to it, as we saw in the Clone Wars, and even in Attack of the Clones a little bit. She can fight for herself if it comes down to it. And she, I don't know, she's a pretty complex character. We saw that explored in the Clone Wars, which I liked.
Yeah. And do you think, I'm pretty sure it is, but I think Padme has way more outfits than Leia.
Way more. Definitely way more. Definitely way more, probably.
Yeah.
She does. Yeah. Padme is more outfits than Leia.
Yeah.
Alright, so we had Barriss in the Clone Wars, who, well, she was in Attack of the Clones, and her betrayal hurt on a personal level. I really liked her, and then she was evil, and it hurt. It was painful.
I loved her. I was like, oh, this is my favorite character. She betrayed. I was like, oh, no, never mind.
No. So Barriss, we did see Bo-Katan. We saw her a little bit, and she started out as kind of an antagonist, but she slowly came to realize, like, I'm on the wrong side, and she didn't fight with Obi-Wan. We didn't really have an ending to her story.
I want to see that. That would be awesome.
There is a Siege of Mandalore comic. I think it's a comic coming out with Ahsoka, so maybe we'll see how she turned out there, but we don't really know.
Yeah, I loved how she stood for what she believed in and rebelled against Darth Maul and the rest of the Mandalorians that stayed, which was pretty awesome. And I was so sad when her sister died. I was like, no, Satine!
I love Satine.
No.
Speaking of too many outfits, she had a lot too.
Yeah, she does.
I like Satine. She was like, I don't know. She was kind of like Obi-Wan's Padme, but I think she was a little bit more sarcastic than Padme.
Yes, very.
They were always bickering, which is awesome. She and Obi-Wan.
They were like peanut butter and jelly. Oh my god. It was so cute.
I was very sad when they died, when she died.
Yeah, I was crying so much. I was like, no, they could have had a thing together.
She didn't deserve it. So Satine, Ventress.
Oh my god. Yes.
Ventress.
My mom, she does Ventress, the costume, and my dad does Voss.
From Dark Disciple.
Yeah. I thought Dark Disciple was an amazing story.
Except
I was kind of confused a little.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay. During the end, I was like, okay, I got it. It's all good. But it was so sad.
Ventress does die. That was really supposed to be 8 episodes. That was like almost half a season, Dark Disciple.
Yeah. I was so sad when Ventress died. It was. I didn't really thought she would die. I thought they would just leave each other, but she had to die.
Before I heard anything about Dark Disciple, I'm like, maybe we'll see her as like a bounty hunter or something in Rebels, but no, that's not gonna happen.
No. But I loved when they were they went into Ventress's story more and I love her background. It's so sad, but it's so good.
It's interesting.
And when they started talking about her master and Boss's master, oh god, I was just so sad.
And then we have like the kind of like the trinity of female Jedi: Shakti, Luminara, and Aayla Secura, who they all got sort of like their own kind of episode almost in Clone Wars. We had Aayla Secura, who was just, she set her mind on a goal and then she achieved it. Like she didn't mess around. And then Luminara, who was a good teacher to Ahsoka in that episode. And unfortunately, she was in Rebels, but not in the way we wanted her to be.
Yeah.
And then Zoe. And then Shakti, who we didn't see too much of, but we do know that she was on the clone facility area. And she did seem very wise, and she was empathetic towards the clones, which is good.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like she understands the clones more than, not anyone, but maybe anyone. And I liked that. That was pretty cool.
Because all the other Jedi, they were nice to the clones and they treated them as equals, but they didn't really seem to understand. When she, even if she didn't, experience what they were going through, she seemed to understand, and she tried to help them with that.
Mm-hmm.
Who else do we have?
Let's see.
We do have the seventh sister coming up.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So our female Inquisitor, I wanted her to be Barriss, not because I wanted Barriss to be evil, but because I wanted to know where Barriss was. But she was not.
I thought it was gonna be Barriss, and then I was like, no, they wouldn't bring that much people back.
Yeah.
In just a few episodes. So I was like, okay, it's probably maybe someone different, and it was. So
yeah.
But it's still cool that we get new characters.
Yeah.
More characters to cosplay.
More characters.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I always thought she would be Barriss because, I thought that would be an interesting dynamic, if we saw her fighting Ahsoka, but, you don't get that. But she seems like she'll be a cool character. And
yeah. She's very evil.
Very evil. Let's see. Let's start speculating about Rebels now. Let's see.
Yeah.
She's going to be a huge threat, we can already tell. And she seems to be we haven't seen much, but she seems to be smarter than the fifth brother. She seems to be kind of in charge of him almost, he's her kind of pet a little bit.
Yeah, the sidekick.
Yes, he is her sidekick. And she does have those little droids, which I think they could be interesting, depending on what they do.
Mm-hmm. They look creepy. At first they looked like probe droids, but really small. But then I started looking at them more, and I was like, no, I don't know. I don't know what you are.
They remind me a little bit of spiders, which I do not like spiders, so...
My little brother doesn't like spiders. I'm okay with them. They're fine. They don't hurt me.
So she seems like she's going to be an interesting character. We know that already.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like all the Inquisitors have the same lightsaber. The first Inquisitor did, who was apparently the Grand Inquisitor. So now there's this power struggle between all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go into more Rebel stuff, quick mention of two female characters that are new. We have Rey. She seems... I think I'm gonna like her.
I think so too. I don't really know much about her, but I can already tell she's a strong character, and that's what I like about those characters.
That's what we like. She seems... I really think I'm gonna like her. She seems... From what I know, she seems like she's going to be kind of sarcastic. She just kind of looks like that. She looks like she could sass somebody. And then... and then she does have BB-8. She is BB-8's friend, which is good. BB-8 is good. And then...
BB-8 is so adorable.
She is a scavenger. I think, out of the new three characters, Finn, Rey, and Poe, I feel like she's going to kind of be the Han Solo character. And Finn's obviously Luke. And I think Poe was kind of like Princess Leia.
I feel like Rey is going to be a mixture of Han and Leia.
Which is why she should be Han and Leia's child.
Yes.
That would be so awesome.
Please. Rey Solo.
Rey Solo.
Yes.
And then our other female character, who we know next to nothing about, really, is Captain Phasma. I think she seems terrifying. I love it.
Yeah, she's interesting. My mom already loves her, and whenever I see her, like, I'm just like, wow, you're so shiny. Don't.
She seems to, like, she's very, like, she looks like someone that, like, if they get a job, she's going to get it done, and if anyone gets in her way, they will be killed.
Yeah.
Don't get in her way.
I'm sorry, but I thought it was a guy for a second because I just saw a glimpse, and I was like, oh, is that I don't know. What are you? And then people were telling me it's a girl. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. Because with the clones, or not the clones, I'm sorry, the stormtroopers in the Legends, the girls had very feminine armor. And this one, she didn't have very, very
She had the same armor as everybody else. And I think that's good, because we see too much, like, if a female has armor, it's very, very feminine. And this is just kind of like, she can wear the same armor as everybody else, and she's still just as much a woman as, another one.
Mm-hmm.
She seems like she could kill somebody, most definitely. She could win in a fight against a lot of people.
Pretty sure shine in her armor is gonna kill someone.
Or blind them. So let's move on. So the first episode of Rebels was released last week.
Oh my god, I love Gregor. He's so funny.
The Gregor and Zeb friendship is my favorite.
Yeah.
At first, Zeb was just kind of like, I'm bigger than you. And now they're just kind of like best friends. And Kanan's just kind of like, why do my children like these people?
Yeah.
And then Rex was a very good mentor to Ezra. And he was also very respectful of Kanan. Like Wolf, who we'll get to later, Wolf is kind of like, I don't really like him, he doesn't like me. But Rex is kind of like, he doesn't like me, but I like him. So
I don't really know much about Wolf, so I'm not sure what he was like before, or if that's how he was the entire Clone Wars. So when I first saw him, I was like, why are you shooting at Kanan? Stop it.
He was under Plo Koon in the Clone Wars, and he wasn't paranoid in the Clone Wars. I think Order 66 did that to him. But he was more kind of like he followed orders no matter what anybody said. Or he was just like, if Plo Koon tells me to do it, I will do it. Like it wasn't.
Close bros.
Close bros. Gregor, he was definitely not like that in the Clone Wars, but
no. Rex
is the only one that stayed about the same.
I'm really curious about how Gregor got out of that planet.
I hope we'll find out something, because I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, when I saw him, I was like, how did you get out? Tell me.
Did you notice on his shirt he had the logo of the burger place he worked at before he was... Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that right away. I'm like, why is there a burger with a cape? And I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm surprised he still has that.
It's probably like all he owns, besides the commando armor.
Mm-hmm. I love how they still have their armor, but it's kind of modified now. So that was pretty cool. I can tell them apart now.
We did see Rex and Sabine had a sort of a friendship. Like Sabine definitely respected Rex, and Rex could tell Sabine was amazing. And I was very happy, because I really liked Rex, and if Sabine hated Rex, I wouldn't be sure who to decide to take. It would be very hard.
she definitely gave them some sass when they found out the messages. I was just like, wow, Sabine, calm down.
Yeah, alright, the message is Wolf. I mean, I get that he's messed up and that he's probably a little paranoid, but like, he didn't have to go that far.
Yeah, I got a bit upset. I was like, no, stop.
Dad, sit down.
Bad Wolf, down.
I was very upset because I'm like, no, and we had a huge cliffhanger, which will be resolved tonight.
I literally couldn't sleep. I was just like, oh, what's gonna happen next?
There were so many emotions.
Yeah, I don't like to be continued. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like them at all.
I feel like we're gonna get a lot of them this season.
No.
And then I don't know. I noticed a lot of the callbacks to the old Clone Wars soundtracks. Like when Rex and Wolf and Gregor first walk out, they play one theme that they always play all the time for everything. And then when Hera was talking about, I don't know if you caught this, but when Hera was talking about how she was saved by the clones and the Jedi on Rylo, they played a little bit of Numa's theme from that episode of the Clone Wars.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, oh wow, that's cool. I listened to some of A New Dawn, the audio books, but I didn't really get into it. It was still cool. It was still funny. I just didn't finish it.
I read the book. It was very good, and I think the way that Kanan told Hera, basically, you wouldn't really tell, but the way Hera found out Kanan was a Jedi was very interesting, definitely. And then that was a good book, but I was very sad when Kanan's voice cracked when he was talking about his master, and that broke my heart. No, Kanan, don't die. Be happy.
Stay positive, bro. Oh god, that was sad. I was like, no, don't tell Ezra. Don't.
Ezra doesn't need to know. He's too innocent.
Doesn't. I loved those comics though. That was
the Kanan comics.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Out of the new comics, I think those are my favorite too. Mm-hmm. They're very sad.
Yeah, they're so sad.
But they're very good.
And my dad, he reads them to us for when we go to bed. And at night, I'm just crying. I'm like, no, why?
Yeah, the Lost Commanders was a very, very emotionally challenging episode. And I think that's the most emotional one we've had so far, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because they're you're happy because the clones are back, but you're sad because Kanan is sad. And everything is bad, but it's awesome, and it's hard.
Yeah. I knew for sure that Kanan wasn't going to trust them at all, and I don't think he does now, but I think he has a little bit of trust. I think they'll get along.
Eventually,
well.
I think he'll just kind of have to learn, you know what, these guys, it wasn't their fault. They're not so bad. I just have to deal with them. At least it wasn't the clones that actually shot Balava at Master Balava and stuff. At least it wasn't those clones, because he would not have nope, I'm out of here.
No, bye. What I was gonna say? Oh yeah. Okay. So I wanted to know, not specifically, but at least tell them how and when they got their chips removed, because if they went to Camino, they would have got caught and all that stuff would have happened.
I have not personally seen the Bad Batch reels, so I don't know if anything was revealed in there. But I do know Gregor's was probably messed up or broken or something in the explosion. that logically that would make the most sense. Rex probably like listened to 5. He's like, okay, I'll trust this guy. And Wolf though, because Wolf is so like follow orders, listen to the Jedi, do what you're told. So it's really weird for Wolf to be like, don't take this chip out, and he'll be like, okay, Rex, let's go take these chips out. It's so weird to me.
I kind of knew Wolf was gonna come back because I was like, this is Filoni's favorite character. He's coming back.
It is Filoni's favorite character. He was going to come back at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He better have an explanation as to how that chip came out. Because, I don't know.
Unless, I doubt Plo Koon told him to, or something like that.
Plo Koon might have, though. But then where are all the other men?
Yeah.
Because Plo Koon was very, very, like, clones of, like, in the first episode, we really saw Wolf. He was, like, he wasn't, a trooper yet. He was still, like, an officer. And Plo Koon was like, you guys are people, you deserve to live, and all this stuff. So, he might have told them if he knew. So, I don't know if Rex is going around telling everybody, which kind of seems like a Rex thing to do.
But if Rex did, wouldn't the soldiers listen? I mean, I don't know. This is confusing.
It is. Though, maybe they'll release something, hopefully, at some point and explain what happened, because I want to know.
If you remember in the episode where Rex is giving all the coordinates of the bases, they talk about Mandalorian, like, deserted bases and all this. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool.
I hope we'll see some of that, something like in the Siege of Mandalore, which I don't know if it's out yet or something, but hopefully it'll be out soon. And so, alright, Rebels and Force Awakens that we released. So first I released a whole bunch of teaser clips, which really just saw Rey. We did see a Finn and Poe bromance in one of the clips. And then they released a poster, which looks awesome. There's no Luke on it. But, yeah, sad. But there's... and then Then they released a trailer yesterday, or Monday. And that's all I could talk about yesterday to everybody. And everybody thought I was weird because I'm screaming about a video, but I couldn't make any intelligible noises, so it didn't make sense.
I remember when I saw it, I was in downtown Disney, and they had a big screen, and a lot of people were there, and it was just so awesome. They showed it a bunch of times, and it was cool because I was mind blown. It was awesome. And then it started raining, and we were all outside, and it was pouring. I was like, oh man, let's go home now.
So
watch it on YouTube.
Or what? The soundtrack, especially when it first opens, is very cool. I'm glad John Williams is still, I was afraid I was setting the bar too high for the soundtrack, but I was just setting it too low. It opens with Rey vaulting through the Star Destroyer, which looks amazing. That was really cool. And then you do see her walking around with BB. And so a voice, I think it's Phasma. I think it sounds like Phasma, but it says, "Who are you?" And she says, "I am no one." So.
I'm not sure. Like, I felt like the person who said, "Who are you?" It sounded a bit like reptilian, like alien-ish, but I'm not sure because it was just a little bit.
We do see Han, who's like, okay, religion and blasters. But now I'm like, yep, Jedi are real. Tell everybody. Tell your friends.
Tell everyone. I loved that one, second scene where it shows Leia
and Han
hugging. Yeah. That was just so sad. I was just like, oh, That's so cute. But then she was sad. I was like, oh, never mind. Not very cute.
Not that cute anymore. What else do we see? We do see Kylo torturing Poe, which was upsetting. Like, get off of him.
That was scary. I like Kylo's voice. It's so cool.
Kylo's voice is cool. And he's a Darth Vader fanboy. Yeah. And we'll finish what you started. I don't think Vader now at this point would like that very much because he's kind of Anakin now. Because he's kind of like, I stopped what I started for a reason. Like, what are you doing? Stop. No, bad.
Stop
Sit down. We do see a short clip of Phasma again, which we're only getting really short clips of her, and they're all kind of like of her walking. But I'm kind of okay with that. I kind of want her to be like a surprise, like we don't know anything about her, and then she's just kind of like killing everyone. And then let's see, we do see some really cool like battle shots.
That was, and hyperspace. It looks so different.
It does.
Oh,
it looks more like
I was just like, oh my god, that's different. That's new.
It looks more like the animated hyperspace, because whenever we saw hyperspace in the movies, it was just kind of like kind of a little plain actually. But this new hyperspace was kind of like the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
We do see the Falcon again. The Falcon's always good.
Yeah. And it has a new dish and everything.
It does. After Lando's ride, it's fixed. It's fine. And we do see, towards the end of the trailer, we see Finn confronting Kylo. And if you pause it and zoom in on Finn's face, he having the most regretful face. Like, oh no, what have I done? I didn't sign up for this.
He's like, I'm coming. No. You have one too? No, never mind. Bye.
Bye. And we do see more of the new Stormtroopers, and they're slowly growing on me. Because at first I was just kind of like, all right, they look cool, but they don't feel very Stormtrooper-y. But now they're starting to grow on me.
Honestly, when I first saw them, I didn't really like them. I was like, I like the other one better.
Same.
And then I kept seeing new ones and how cool they looked, and I was like, oh, they actually do look pretty cool though. So now they're actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It was kind of like the Rebel Stormtroopers. Like at first I saw them like, but now I'm just like, yes, they're Stormtroopers. Yes.
Yes.
So they're growing on me. And
same.
We do see them walking through this Han, Rey, and Finn, and some big droid. They're walking through somewhere with a whole bunch of flags. And the one I noticed was Mandalorian flag. It's a Mandalorian symbol. That droid, though. Because when I first saw it, I thought it looked kind of like one of those big soda can droids in the Clone Wars, the movie that Ahsoka and Anakin are fighting. I thought
I told my dad, and he's like, "Oh no, it looks a bit smaller." I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." Probably.
That's what I first thought when I looked at it, but the more I'm looking at it, no, it's totally different. Let's see. And in this movie, we are getting a Jedi, Maz Kanata, old woman pirate Jedi. She took the Hondo career path advice, and she's a pirate Jedi. Running a crew of pirates who I think are each getting their own short story or book or something. That'll be cool.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Bunch of pirates.
It seems like Hondo still has his sense of humor still, which is pretty cool.
So you should be a pirate, Nezra. But I'm a Jedi. Just be a pirate Jedi.
Pirate Jedi. Bam. Done.
That's a. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a pirate Jedi.
Yeah.
Not just a Jedi, not just a pirate Jedi.
Pirate Jedi. What's next?
Um, so that trailer was definitely, I think I watched it like at least like 40 times, just watching it over and over again. Like, this is awesome.
I can never find anyone to share my happiness with at school because everyone's like, dude, that's weird. Why are you into Star Wars? It's so confusing. I'm like, well, no, it's not. You're just thinking too hard about the logic when there is none.
There doesn't have to be.
So, and then I found one person, and so now we always watch it over and over and over. And we're like, oh, dude, did you see that?
I was like, on the day after it came out, I'm like at school, like asking everybody, like, did you see it? Did you see it? Nobody knew what I was talking about. It was very distressing. Yeah. And I didn't find one person that I talked to for a little bit, but I only got to see them just for a little bit, and I wasn't able to talk to them anymore. It was sad. And then, so after the movie comes out, I think I might have seen pictures of the Disney Infinity Rey and Finn. I don't know. Do you know anything about Disney Infinity? Because I do not. I don't know.
Disney Infinity, we have it, and it's an awesome game. It's just awesome. I have almost all the Infinities. The only thing we're missing, I think, is probably Boba Fett. But Boba Fett comes with the PS5 or I don't know. There's too many.
Whatever one they're on.
And I think we're also missing Darth Maul. And then, but it's funny because sometimes the stores, they don't know when it comes out. So they'll put them out early and we'll like grab them and we'll run to the cash register and we'll just be like, okay, can we get this? Can we get it? And they're like, no, because it's not out yet. Where'd you get this? And we're just like, oh, it's from over there. And she's like, fine, you guys are lucky. And then she gave it to us. It was just awesome.
We don't have the game yet. We're going to get it, but we have Sabine and Yoda, I think, just right now. But I want to get more. But all right, so what is it? I really don't know.
Basically, it's kind of hard. It's in some of them, when you buy the pack, you get this other kind of, it's not an infinity, but it's like a thing. And you put it on, and then it's a game. It's like you have to do missions, and you help people, and you could be your characters, but sometimes it's an actual story. So you have to use Anakin, or you have to use Yoda. And it's funny to run around as Sabine, and if you're playing with your brother, sister, whoever, and they're Ezra, they'll talk. Sabine and Ezra will talk in the game. So Ezra's like, what's up, Sabine? Or, like, tell me something about art, Sabine. And then Sabine will be like, oh, sup, kid? You know, it's really funny. Yeah. And you could, like, beat each other up and throw each other off cliffs, which is funny to do.
I did see a clip of someone, and they were Ahsoka, and there was a Vader, and they like ran up, and Vader just pushed him back with the Force, and he's like, he said something like, your lack of like training or whatever, your lack of skill is disturbing or something, and the person was like, well, maybe if you trained her better. I found that really funny for some reason. Yeah, this game. It sounds fun. It looks fun. I really like the style because it's kind of like, it's cute. It's just kind of like, it's purple.
Yeah. They look very, very cartoony. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, you look different. And I was sad. I wasn't sad, but I wish they did a season 1 Sabine.
Yeah.
And a season 2 Sabine, but we can't have them all, I guess.
I guess not. They haven't released a Hera like figure or a Chopper figure, which is sad. I like Hera.
My mom, she got mad. She's like, because we got them all, and then I was like, cool, we have them all. And then my mom, she's like, you're missing one. You're missing one. I'm like, who? I don't know. And she's like, Hera. I was like, oh, whoops. So, but you could like spawn her, which is cool. You could spawn different ships and stuff. And there's also Disney characters in it, and I guess you could play, like if you have, I don't know, Vanellope or Maleficent, you could play. And you could have sidekicks too.
Could Ezra and Aladdin talk to each other? Because Ezra is like Space Aladdin, so would they be friends?
I hope they would.
Will they compete for the title of Ultimate Aladdin?
Oh my god, yes. That'd be awesome.
And Sabine and Jasmine would just be on the side like, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, and it was just, it's really funny because some of the characters, when they talk, it's the actual actors or actresses, and Leia, the person who does Leia, is the voice actress of Satine, which I thought was pretty cool. And Sabine is everyone, and Hera. Well, Hera doesn't really talk too much, so. And Kanan is Kanan, Ezra is Ezra, so it's not just random people doing the voice. So I thought that was awesome, because I didn't really like that in other games, how other people, not the actual actors or actresses, would come and do the voice. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That doesn't
happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Sabine, we do both troop as her with, like, the Rebel Legion, technically for us, the Galactic Academy, because we're not 18.
Yeah.
But trooping as Sabine, like, if there's an Ezra around, like, so all of the Ezras around where I live are older than me, and I get to call them kid, and it's really, really fun, because they're, like, this tall, and I'm just like, hey, kid, they just look down at me.
Yeah, my little brother, he does Ezra, and it's funny because he's funny. He'll just be like, sup. I'm just like, I don't think Ezra would say that, Axel. Say something cooler.
Being Sabine, you do get to, like, kind of sass people, and if you see a stormtrooper or anything, you can just be like, hey, Buckethead.
Yeah, and I like little kids. Little kids are funny. Like, they'll come up to me, and sometimes they're scared of me because I have the helmet. I'm just like, no, don't be scared, please.
And then they're afraid of you, and then take the helmet off, and like, ooh, she has pretty hair.
I know. And a few kids, they're just so funny. Like, I could hear them from far away. They're like, look, it's Sabine. Look at her. She looks so cool. Look, it's Ezra and Kanan and Hera. I'm like, yeah. Yes.
Last trip I did was last weekend, and I was with an Ezra, and so like this little boy runs up to me, and he's freaking out over Sabine, and his mom was like, yeah, you have a picture of Sabine on your wall, don't you? And he's like, yeah, and he's like freaking out over Sabine, and they got a picture. I'm like, hey, do you want a picture of Ezra too? And he's like, okay.
Okay. Oh god, that was funny. My little brother, he's funny. Like, he'll go and he'll always play with the kids, but he always sometimes messes up his costume because he's always like doing flips and jumping around and getting caught in the bushes and stuff. I'm just like, dude, stand still. Stay. I'm gonna glue you to the floor.
I was at a con one time, and I was actually talking to Daniel Logan, who was Boba Fett in the Clone Wars and the prequels, and I guess he thought it was like a custom Mandalorian or something, like one of the people like that you make yourself. And then this little girl comes up in like one of those cloth Sabine costumes, and she gets a picture, and she's all excited, and he's like, "You're a character? What?"
I hate it when people call me Pink Boba Fett. I'm just like, no, stop it.
I think the first time I wore my Sabine was last December. Yeah, last December, and I got called like. I think someone tried to convince me that I was Bo-Katan. Like they said, "Oh, you're Bo-Katan." I'm like, no, I'm Sabine from the animated series. And he's like, yeah, but like, wasn't she like in Clone Wars and stuff? And he's trying to convince me that I didn't know who I was. I'm pretty sure I know who Sabine is.
I don't like, yeah, and they'll be like they'll tell their kids, they're like, hey, you want a picture with Pink Boba Fett? Look at her. I'm like, really? Really?
No. I mean, when I first started being Sabine, like nobody ever knew who I was. Like there was occasionally like a couple kids, and they'd be like, "Oh, look, Sabine," but like nobody knew. But now, like I go in a troop, and like everybody's like, "It's Sabine," and
No. I used to do Hera, and a lot of people would just say they're like, "Oh, it's Twi'lek, cool, take a picture." I'm just like, no, I'm an actual character, thank you. And they'll like, it's just some people. And then someone called me, like, I guess it was because I was green or something, like ogre. I'm like, really? An ogre has things coming out of their heads.
Fake tails.
Yeah, I'm just like, really?
And then, yeah, as Sabine, I've been called Boba Fett, Jango Fett, basically any Mandalorian character that exists.
Mm-hmm.
Pink Boba Fett, purple Boba Fett, obviously. I was called Boba Fett once, but it was a really old guy, and I think he was like he knew his grandkids like Star Wars or something, and he just wanted to get a picture to show them something cool. So instead of like trying to correct him, I'm like, no, Boba Fett's over there. Like, yeah. I think I was called a purple stormtrooper once. I'm like, no.
A stormtrooper? No.
What?
When I first wore Sabine, it was really cool. And I don't know, you were talking up to him on another episode, and it was Ryan
Mirelli.
Yeah, and I saw him, I was like, oh, it's an Ezra. And then I looked at my brother, 2 Ezras. Can never have enough Ezras.
Nope, all that's if we can get. I've tripped with him as Ezra a couple times, and I get to call him Kid, which is like, he's like a foot taller than me, so I'm like, hey, Kid, I'm looking up at him, and he's just kind of like, no.
No.
He always is like when there's a group of kids, he's always like, hey, who's your favorite character? And they always say Ezra, but like what about me? Like, they either stay silent or say Ezra. He's like, the right answer was Ezra. I'm like, no, the right answer was Sabine. They're just trying to make you feel better about yourself, Ezra.
I always, usually, we always stay together, but sometimes I'll wander off. I'm terrible.
I wander off a lot too.
I'll get lost because I'll find something cool. I'm just like, oh my god, I want that, and then I'll just wander off. And then my parents are like, where'd she go? And then I'm over there, and then when they find me, all of a sudden people just come. They're like, can we take a picture with all of you? I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, parents. We didn't. I shouldn't have wandered off.
I've never trooped with like a Hera or a Kanan or a Chopper or a Zeb. I don't think Zeb would have to be a hard costume, but I've only ever trooped with an Ezra. But I've trooped by myself a lot too, like no other Ghost crew members. And it is a lot easier to be Sabine when there's like other like characters around, because like I can't really interact with like a bunch of clone troopers. Like, I mean, I kind of can now, but like before then,
Yeah.
like there was like nobody. I was just like, all right, there's Jedi. I don't know what a Jedi is. There's a clone trooper. I don't know where a clone trooper is. I can't really do anything with a Tusken Raider. I'm just gonna go bother the stormtrooper.
Yeah. I would always get stopped because whenever I was Kara, like, that's everyone likes Twi'leks, I guess. And I think it's just that when you're painted, people are like, "Oh, that's cool," and they don't care about anything else.
Even if
it's like
terrible paint, like you could just get like clown paint and just kind of splotch it onto your face, and we're like, "Oh, it's so pretty."
It's so pretty. It's different color. I've never really trooped with a Zeb. I know someone who did a Zeb, but we never get to troop with her. Maybe we did once, but I wasn't there. She has a pretty good Zeb, and but it would always get hot in there and stuff. So
I did a Jawa for a while, so I know how hot a costume can get. And Zeb doesn't look like it would be very cool.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a. Well, I've done the priestess from the Yoda episodes, and that's the closest I got to hotness.
I was a Jawa for like 7 years, and like at first it was like I was like 5, so it was like very hot, and I had to take a lot of breaks. But after a while, I just kind of got used to it. But now I'm so used to being Sabine, and it's a really cool costume, especially compared to the Jawa. So like I think if I wore my Jawa again, I would just suffocate because I'm not used to it anymore.
Sometimes I will be using the Sabine helmet or something, and I'm just like, oh, it's so hot here. And then I'll look over to my right, and there's like a stormtrooper. I'm like, oh, he's probably hot in there. Never mind. I don't know what hot is.
Sabine, I don't know how cold it gets when you troop, but I've been to some troops where it's very, very cold, and so thankfully they're usually inside. But then you have I think I did like a museum once, and we're inside the whole time, except you go outside for the main picture. And so I'm sitting there, and the one stormtrooper's like, "I'm cold," and I'm like, "What about me?"
I'm gonna think about any. We were at Star Wars Read Day, and we went to a library. It was just so hot, but I was in my Jedi, so I was okay, but I still had long sleeves. So I went inside, and it was just so cold. I was like, I don't want to be in here anymore. Let's go back outside. And I would just go back and forth. It was sad.
Yeah.
Because the Jedi was just couldn't make up her mind at all.
The Jedi was discovering both sides of the Force, the cold side and the warm side. Yeah. Jedi, they look pretty hot. It's because it looks like, it's long sleeves and it looks pretty thick. A lot of the fabric they use looks very thick.
I don't have a very thick one. I just basically have just like regular long sleeves, leggings, and then I have tabards. But I see other Jedis and they just have tabards, long sleeves, more long sleeves, pants, boots. I'm just like, oh my god, it's probably so hot in there. But my dad, he's boss, so he gets no sleeves.
No sleeves.
So,
because he's boss, he does what he wants.
Yeah.
Sabine, it's either everyone else is dying and sweating, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay, I'm just kind of wearing normal clothes, or everyone's just kind of warm, and I'm just kind of shivering, why did I do this? But she is going to have long sleeves in season 2, so that'll solve my problem.
Oh my god. That trailer, that was pretty cool. I mean, when I saw the new bounty hunter, I was just like, wow. She has similar clothes like Sabine.
I think she's
What's with that?
My theory is that she's kind of like Sabine's mentor. After Sabine left the academy, like this like bounty hunter just kind of like picked her up off the street and was kind of like, here, I'll teach you how to do stuff.
How to survive.
Yeah. And then I think Sabine's just kind of like, you know what? They probably just got into an argument or something, and Sabine left, and then she found Space Dad and Space Mom.
Yeah, my dad and I, when we first saw it, we were like, oh my god, okay, let's think of all the characters we know who could fit in that costume. And I was just like, I would look at my dad, anyone? He's like, nope, got nothing.
I kind of wanted to be, I kind of wanted, like, Bo-Katan, I kind of want her to be in that episode. Because it's Mandalore, and she seems like she'd be like the Empire's here, and she'd be like, nope, not my planet, and she'd just like, get out of here, but she's small, and they're big, so. But I think she could hold her own for a while, like, she'd be a rebel cell.
Yeah, that was, and did you notice that in one shot, the bounty hunter on her helmet, on the back of her helmet, it had Black Sun's logo on it.
It did.
Yeah.
So maybe that's Bo-Katan. Maybe she became a bounty hunter.
And me and my dad were talking about how it could be just like some new character, or it could be some. But then we were talking about how it couldn't be a Black Sun person because basically all the important people died by Darth Maul.
Maybe it's like a background character that didn't have any lines, and you have to like search through the Clone Wars episodes to find them, and they're just like standing there.
Yeah.
It might be a new character though, and maybe she like looks up to the Black Sun. Like that's kind of like maybe they're kind of like a legend on Mandalore, and they're kind of like her hero.
We still don't know what happened to Darth Maul though.
We don't. So. We can assume that Palpatine either just let him go or he's using him for something. I don't think he said he wouldn't kill him.
Yeah. At first, I thought he was going to, and then when I finished the episode, I was like, I don't think so. Let's see what's going on next. And then I was like, this is the end of the season. I was like, no, I want to see what happens. Why you do this to me?
Yeah, I hope he's not on Mandalore. That would be bad. Like the Ghost Crew go there, and he'd just be there, and he'd be mad because Savage is dead. Though he might help them fight against the Empire because the Emperor killed. That would be interesting, actually. Seeing Savage help the Rebels crew, and they have no idea like who he is. And the audience knows, like, no, don't trust him! Get away! And he's just kind of like buddy-buddy with them. That would be weird.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, like, it would probably, there's like a, I don't know, 1.5% chance.
It's probably not going to happen, but it would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And what would be also cool was if he was still searching for Kenobi. That'd be crazy. I'd be like, dude, calm down with the whole revenge. Calm.
Because, I mean...
Go.
Really? Like, you'd think Darth Maul would almost respect Obi-Wan? Because, like, despite, like, it being against the Jedi way, like, Obi-Wan still kind of got revenge. And so you think Darth Maul would be like, you know what? You were told to not get revenge, and you still got revenge. I like you. But he did cut him in half, so I can see where the resentment is.
That was... When I first saw Darth Maul with those spider legs, I was so creeped out. I was like, ugh, ew, no.
I like, heard, like, rumors that they were bringing Darth Maul back. I'm like, what? How? You can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. But they did it. They
could bring people back from the dead.
Yeah.
I was surprised, though, that how they did that. He had so much hate in him that it kept him alive somehow.
The power of the dark side.
But I wanted to know about if he made the spider legs himself or someone like helped him. But I honestly doubt that someone would
Maybe
help
they
him.
were like, maybe they were droid legs or something, and he found them. He's like, I can use these. I'll slip them on. Yeah. So upcoming troops like that we're doing. So I'm doing the Millersville Parade. Actually, Saturday it's the homecoming parade for Millersville University near where I live, and it's usually a very fun parade. It's a very quick parade, but a lot of people go and it's very fun. And people in that area generally know who has friends to be in our, so that would be interesting.
That'd be cool.
And then we're doing a science factory, which is kind of like a big, like it's supposed to help kids learn about science, but like through fun stuff, like kind of like playing games. So are you doing anything like coming up, like as Sabine or whoever?
I think we might be doing Kamikaze. That's coming up soon. I'm not sure which costumes to do. Most likely Sabine. I wanted to do the priestess because I've only worn it like once, and I think that was for celebration. But so I don't know how many days we're gonna be doing that, so probably priestess again and Sabine.
It's Sabine. Anything else?
I'm not very sure. No, I'm not really sure what's upcoming.
I don't know anything about November or anything after that, but I know in September, or not September, that was a while ago. In December, there's a con out in Pittsburgh. It's a few hours away from where I am, but it's not a small con, so nobody's there, but it's not like a big con, so it's crowded and you can't walk. It's like kind of like the perfect like medium, and they get some good celebrities there. I forget who Star Wars related is coming in December, but we've had like Daniel Logan, who was Boba Fett. We had Ray Park, who was Darth Maul and Phantom Menace. Billy D. Williams came one August, but I couldn't go to that one. I was very sad. And then, yeah, but it's been getting better and better. So that's usually really fun, and it'll be the anniversary of my Sabine costume, so that'll be cool.
Cool.
And I think we're planning on doing season 2 Sabine. That's our goal. That's when I'm gonna first wear it.
Yeah, my mom wants to do season 2 Sabine. Yeah, it's basically the same armor, it's just repainted. And I like the fear knock on her shoulder.
She
too.
does have a fear knock, which I think she like saw like them in Out of Darkness in like that warehouse, and she's like, you know what, these are cool. If something ever happens to my armor, I'm putting one of those on there.
Mm-hmm.
And her helmet is pretty much the same, but she did add some orange on there to cover up the encounter with Vader.
Oh god, I almost cried. I was like, no, Sabine, don't die, don't die.
She got like
no.
Like I didn't think she was going to die, but like she got hurt, and I'm like, no, my baby, don't hurt her. Yeah, that was like a mini heart attack. Like she got hit in the chest, then she got hit. I'm like, get up, you're fine. Then she got hit in the head. I'm like, no.
I almost cried. I was like, if you're dead, I'm just gonna shut myself in the room and cry. And then she didn't. I was like, yeah, she's fine. She's cool. She's cool. It's just a flesh wound. So.
Just a little bruise. Yeah. So let's see. And then she does have long sleeves and like flares around her boots and stuff. And she does have new hair, which I love. It's like a turquoise now. I'm still kind of getting used to it. Like, I really like it, but it's still weird to see it. Like, I see it like, oh, yeah, it's not orange anymore.
It's really bright. When I first saw it, I was like, wow. Whoa.
It's blinding.
Okay. I wanted to see... I wish they showed her like
Painting it?
different armor in another episode, so that way we could see like maybe why she did it, kind of.
Well, I think we know she painted the helmet and the shoulder or the chest because like that's where she got shot by Vader, and she's like, "Well, I can't have this on my armor. I better cover that up." But I don't know. She's defensive.
I wanted to.
She's defensive if she gets shot in the back. Like, there's no armor back there. Like, be careful. Be careful, my child.
I wanted to see Ezra's reaction to Sabine's new style, and then when it just showed Sabine walking fine,
Maybe we'll
I was like, oh, okay.
Maybe we'll get like a little clip of that. Like, she first comes out and she shows everybody. She's like, "Hey guys, I repainted my armor," and they're all like, "Wow!" And Ezra's like trying to like, "It looks amazing, it's awesome," and just rambling about it. She's like, "Okay, Ezra, I get it. Okay, you can stop now." Yeah, I really like her new armor. It's much brighter than it was, which is weird because this season seems like it's going to be like sadder. So it's contrast. Yeah, I'm excited for. I guess when this is released, the new episode will already be out. But when we're recording, as of right now, we have not seen it, and I'm freaking out.
In that one scene in the trailer for season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, it shows the 7th sister, and what's the other guy's name again?
The 5th brother.
Yeah, the 5th brother. It shows them, and then it shows Ahsoka coming in, and then it shows Ezra and Zeb on the floor, and I was just like, what happened? No!
What did they do?
No.
We do see Ezra fighting the 7th sister, I believe, and he's like kind of doing flips and stuff, and I'm just like, Ezra learned how to do that. Like, Ryan, learn how to do that now.
I'm pretty sure my brother knows how to do that.
Yeah, there you go.
He's been doing it all the time.
Yeah, your brother's the perfect Ezra.
I know. He's always doing it, like, down the stairs, on the sofa, in the bed. I'm just like, dude, stop it. Stop.
We have seen that the 7th sister has, like, her hands are like a purple, like, pinkish, kind of, like her palms of her gloves. Which at first I saw that on a poster, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's the lighting, that's kind of weird. But now, like, it's actually that color. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Maybe Sabine got to her. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the next episode. The 7th sister comes, and Sabine just pulls out her paint sprayer and paints her hands. There, that's better. Add a little color to your life.
Right, makeover.
I'm excited for the episode tonight, for this whole season. It's twice as long, so that's good. Apparently, we're going to get an episode on the backstory of every character. So,
okay.
Sabine will probably be that one with that bounty hunter girl.
Yeah.
Zeb,
and
I feel like Zeb's will be really sad because like his whole planet was wiped out. Like that's gonna be really sad.
That was pretty tough. I was just like,
because it's just like it was mentioned, and like I'm just like, poor Zeb. Like I know Ezra's the main character, but he has like the least tragic backstory out of all of them. Except maybe. We don't know about Chopper. I want to know what Chopper's backstory episode will be like. That'll be hilarious. Kanan's will be really sad, of course. Poor Kanan. Hera's will be interesting with like how it was in Ryloth, and hopefully we'll see like how she got the ghost and stuff.
And maybe Chance and Dula.
Chan is going to be in this season. I think so. So yeah, we'll see that. But yeah. But, like, Ezra is the least sad backstory, probably. We don't know about Chopper's, but, like, Hera, like, her people have been, like, fighting for freedom, like, and as soon as they get freedom from one place, like, another place comes, and then Kanan, like, let's not even get started. And Zeb's, like, his entire species was wiped out. And Sabine was, like, abused in the academy, and then, like, when she finally left and she found that bounty hunter, and she was a bounty hunter, which couldn't have, I mean, for a teenage girl, that couldn't have been, I mean, that would be fun, but it would be very safe. We don't know about Chopper's backstory. I don't feel like it'll be that sad, though. I feel like it'll kind of be funny. But Ezra, like, it's not that sad, especially because we see that vision of his parents being alive.
Yeah,
Ezra
that was pretty.
doesn't have that sad of a life.
When my dad was showing it, and they showed that scene with Ezra's parents, I ran to my little brother. I was like, "Dude, your parents are on the TV." And he was like, "What? Mom and Dad are on the TV?" I was like, "Well, your mom and dad. My mom and dad, I don't know where they are."
I don't know. Yeah. I feel like I kind of want to know, like, Sabine. I don't know what happened to Sabine's parents. Because maybe they still support the Empire.
That'd be sad.
That would be sad. Because, like, Ezra's parents, like, at least the rebels. Like,
Yeah.
Sabine's parents, like, if they sent her to the academy, they probably, like, disowned her when she was like, you know, the Empire's not that great.
Have you read the Zare books?
I've read the first 3, but the 4th one just came out, and I still haven't read that one.
Yeah. That was when I read that Zare's dad was still like the Empire, and I was like, oh, why won't they tell him? Why?
Oh, I want Dara. I want Dara to be in Rebels. Maybe we'll see Zare and Dara.
Well, if she's even,
if she's alive, yeah. Hopefully she is. She seemed pretty cool. But yeah.
I know.
I kind of want to know what color Sabine's hair was, like, before she started dyeing it and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, was it black? Was it brown? Was she a blonde? Probably not. Maybe we'll never know.
It'd be cool if she, like, had... I could never see Sabine in long hair, but... it would just...
That would be weird, but, like, not necessarily long hair. I just kind of want to know what color it was. Just, I don't know, I'm intrigued. Probably, like, a dark brown or a black. That would look right.
Yeah. Yeah, because blonde, that would be kind of weird.
No. Blonde Sabine. That would be weird. Oh.
I could see her maybe in a darkish, brownish, blackish,
brown. Yeah,
brown there.
That would make the most sense. Yeah. So.
And yeah, we don't really know too much about Ezra's parents. And we don't know if one of them is force sensitive or someone in the family was, and then Ezra got that power.
He also, like, I don't know.
When we first saw how his dad and his mom looked, I was just like, I don't know who that is, so maybe it's not a Jedi.
They looked a little older than they had, but I guess it's because they're kind of stressed out from trying to not die.
Yeah.
It did kind of annoy me, though, because, like, Hera finds out, like, Zebo tells Hera what happened to the parents, and, like, she goes to tell him, and Kanan's like, Ezra doesn't really need that right now, which I understood for that episode, but then they never brought it up again. I'm like, but you need to tell him, like, he needs to know.
I would always keep asking that. Every episode will come out and she hasn't said it yet. I'm like, can we go back to what happened to Ezra's parents, please? Thank you.
That episode ended. I'm like, oh, they're probably gonna tell him next episode or something. Maybe that episode will, like, start out, or that's how the episode will end. And no, they just kind of dropped it. I was just like, what? Why would you do that?
I hope they say it at least in season 2. They have to, kind of.
Maybe like Ezra will say like something like he got a vision of his parents, and Hera was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that part. Here's what happened."
Speaking of that,
yeah, I maybe Sabine will find her parents. So they probably disowned her. Because if they sent her to the academy, like they're probably like pro Empire.
oh yeah,
So we already said that, but
it'd be sad if they died or something, and she was with her uncle or aunt or something. Big sister, I don't know.
Maybe that's who the bounty hunter is. Maybe it's her big sister.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, I think the saddest thing that could happen, well, not necessarily the saddest, but the Empire is like trying to figure out ways to like lure the Ghost Crew in, so they kidnap Sabine's parents, even though they're like pro Empire, and they have to rescue them. And the parents are like, "You were right, Sabine. The Empire's evil. You were
Evil
right."
Knievel.
And then Jai Cal. We haven't. Like, I maybe we'll just see him like the background, or we'll just like get a reference to him. But like, I want to know he's okay.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve this. He didn't ask for this.
You know, in the trailer, it showed it. You hear Palpatine's voice, and it's like it will lead us to other Jedi, and then it shows an old man.
Yeah.
But I have no idea who that is.
I heard one there that it was Mace. And I'm just like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So maybe he's a new character. Maybe he's Voss. There's a new costume. Finland Voss, old man version.
I don't know what got into my head, but in my head I was like, Keanu Mundi? And then I was like, no, he's dead. He died.
And he has a tall head that wouldn't really fit into that hat.
That would be weird. It was like
maybe
I would always call him Breadhead when I was little.
Breadhead.
Because it just looked like a loaf of bread.
He was like in Rebel, like, or not Rebels, but in like the Lego, like the Star Wars game, like I unlocked him, and I'm just like, this guy has a really, really tall head. Like, it's like 2 Lego heads on top of each other.
Yeah, that was funny. I keep forgetting what his name is, but he's on the Jedi Council, and he just has like a long neck.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I forget his name though.
Something Poof.
Poof.
Euro Poof.
Yeah.
Euro Poof, something like that. And in the Lego Yoda movies,
there's Yaddle.
It just has a pile of heads. I'm just like, whoa, you're so tall.
And then there's Yaddle. She was on the
Yaddle.
Jedi Council. Yaddle.
Yeah. I still want to know what their species is called.
I think George Lucas probably knows, and he's like, I'm not going to tell anybody more. I'm going to let you all suffer.
Let you all suffer and think for a second.
And who else on the Jedi Council? We had Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto.
I liked him. He was in the Clone Wars, and he was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there's Nadar Veb, who I liked him, but he died, and it was pretty sad. But on one hand, I felt really, really bad, but on the other hand, he didn't listen to anybody. It was kind of his fault, and then I felt bad for thinking that. No, and then there was Nadar Veb, and then who else? What other Jedi did we have? We had a lot of them. Those 2 sisters in the 4 to 15.
Yeah.
One died, and the other one was like so sad, and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
That was like he did it in a second.
I know.
No hesitation.
They look
I was
really.
just like, dude, think for a second.
They look.
1 second.
They look really cool though. Like those.
Yeah.
Like that would be a cool like. Maybe I'll just try to convince my sister to do that costume with me. Like, yo, Sappy, we're doing this. That would be cool. And then we had a lot of people on the Jedi Council. We were talking about Shakti, Ayla Secure, and Luminara today. A lot of people.
I don't like that weird. I don't even know who he is. He has like a long beard and weird hands, and he's like very lizard-like, snakish lizard-like, and he's just so creepy. I've always thought he was just ew.
I feel like I know who you're talking about, but I don't. And then there's Jocasta Nu.
Yeah.
She was the librarian. She was pretty cool, and like you always saw her as like kind of like this really old lady that was just kind of like she was one of the Jedi, but when she got too old and weak to like fight anymore, they're like, all right, go to the library. But no, but like she seemed like I don't remember if we ever saw her like actually fight, but when like her body seemed capable of it, like when that changeling was her, like and had her body, like I don't know, it looked pretty cool. It was an old lady and she was beating Ahsoka. I'm like, wow.
Well, we did see that one episode when Ahsoka lost her lightsaber and that old guy.
Jedi. And like she's like running, trying to find these people, and he's like just kind of like walking like with his cane, like do, and he's still like caught up with everybody.
Yeah, and he's just like, slow down, hold on.
She's like, no, it's my lightsaber, and he's just like, you'll get it back, and she's like, I have to go get it, and then like.
Yeah. But I thought that was a pretty cool episode because it was an old guy doing awesome stuff.
That lady that took the lightsaber, she looked really cool. She was very colorful.
I felt like she looked like. Wait, which one? There's
the
two.
the red, white, and blue one.
She reminded me. I don't know why. Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah.
Like, I guess because of the hair.
She sort of reminded me of like one of those like those really colorful skeletons, like. Like.
And then.
Yeah, like all the designs and the stuff. Like that's who she reminded me of. But yeah, Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know why I was just like, you look like Sally. Why?
She looked cool. That would be a cool costume.
That'd be
but
creepy costume.
Nobody would know who you were. Everybody would think that you're like some kind of skeleton thing. Like only the really,
or they would think you're Oracene.
They would,
or like a weird version.
Yeah. Because like only like the really like super into it Clone Wars fans would be like, yeah, you're that person. But like
everyone else is like, I don't know you.
Aura Singh is cool. I like Aura Singh.
I like her. I didn't like her regular costume. I mean, I did, but I like her second one better. It looked really cool.
I like she was a good and a bad mentor to Boba. Like for who Boba Fett's character turns out to be, like she was a good mentor for like what happened, but like she was a bad mentor. She was like, you know this guy, he did nothing to you. Kill him.
Kill.
And he's like, but I don't want. He's like, shoot him in the face.
Shoot him in the face. Nows.
Now. And then she had her little kind of band of bounty hunters, and that didn't work out for them.
No.
But
Again, I would never work with Oracene. I'd be too scared.
you would
I'd
get
be like,
you would either
I'm out.
die or get no money. Like, she cares about her. Like, she's cool because she cares about herself, and like that's it. So she's a cool character, but like I wouldn't want to meet her in a dark alley. I wouldn't want to meet her in a bright alley either. I wouldn't want to meet her anywhere. She would shoot me.
Yeah.
And then she had a thing with Hondo too, which that was weird. Like when that happened, I'm like, what?
I was just like, Disney. Hello.
I'm like, what? That was
weird. I was just like, oh,
because the first
that happened.
So the first I'm like, oh, she knows Hondo, that's cool, and I'm like, oh, she knows Hondo.
She knows Hondo. I wonder how that happened. That'd be a cool story, but they would never show it.
No.
No.
They might write it. Maybe like Dave Filoni will write it someday, and we can read it.
Or like a short clip.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm feeling nice today. Let's do Hondo and Oracene.
That was so weird though, because I was like, what? What?
Yeah. I liked when Boba tried to grab for a drink, and she's like, no, Boba.
She was a good role model then. Like, no, you're too young. Sit down. Bad dog.
Alright, go to the corner.
Go sit in the corner and think about what you've done.
But I liked how we got to see Boba grow and be this awesome person. Even though his dad died and all that stuff. That was sad.
Yeah.
I really like... Do you remember the one episode where they have to take this cargo to a king, but it ends up a princess?
I was just going to talk about that.
Yeah. I love his helmet. That helmet is just... I want to do the costume, but then I'm like, I'm just going to leave the helmet on because I do not want to shave my head. No, thank you.
That helmet, like when I first saw the new Bounty Hunter helmet, that's what it reminded me of, like that helmet, but it's not that one at all. But and, yeah, so yeah, that was a cool episode. I like that because like Asajj Ventress, like she got double the money, and she did the right thing in the end. Like she would be like if she kept with the bounty hunting thing, she would be the best bounty hunter ever. Because, like, she gets what she wants, and she does what she wants, and she still does the job, kind of, if she wants to.
And she still shared with the rest of the crew with the money, which I thought was cool. I thought she was just gonna run off and take it.
That's the one instance where Asajj Ventress is probably a better person than me. I would have been like, my money, you guys didn't do anything.
Right?
So yeah, because she still realized like this girl doesn't deserve this, which is she still like freed the girl, but she got money from the king, and she got the money from she got all the money, and she still did the right thing in the end, which was
the king. The king is creepy. He's it's gross. This is no.
Razi, I think that's how her name is. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah,
she looked really cool.
So,
and she had that the thing, I forget what it's called, but like she was like hitting people with it. Because at first I saw it, I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. But then she's like starts like using it as a weapon. I'm like, oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah, I think I don't remember. It starts with a B or something. Yeah, she's really cool. I kept thinking, I was like, maybe she's the bounty hunter in Star Wars Rebels. And I was like, no, her head wouldn't fit in there. No. I don't think she would get rid of that weapon at all.
And then she had, and then there was that droid. He was
that droid was cool.
He was a pretty tough droid. Like, he was taking a lot. And then he would, like, spin around, like, all the basketballs that would get everywhere and be like, get down! Why? Just get down. Trust me.
Trust me.
And then we did see Dengar, who... We didn't really see his personality, like, at all. He was kind of in the background in the movies, but, like, we did see him, and he's just kind of, like... He was almost like...
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. He was almost like Han Solo, really. He was kind of like...
But he was
like,
a bit more laid back.
A little
but when
bit
the
more.
job started, he
was like,
did it.
Alright, let's do this. And then Boba Fett was the leader. I thought that was funny, because, like, we'll take you to our leader, and, like, he, like, Venture sees
the short guy.
And Venture sees him, like, you're the leader?
You? Please.
And, so, yeah, there was...
Boba Fett has a lot of attitude.
He does.
I'm just like, little person, hush.
Hush. So, yeah, who else? I feel like I'm missing someone. That one... Besides Venture was in the beginning, like, she was, like, teaching everybody, like, if somebody is flirting with you, this is what you do. Just kill them.
Right?
Life lessons from massage Ventress.
That was pretty funny. I was like, she's just like, get lost.
Because when that happened, I laughed, and then I'm like, wait, someone died. I'm laughing. And then I still laughed.
It's fine. He's fine.
He'll get up. Probably not, but... my favorite part about that is, like, the whole cantina, like, stops, and they look at it, like, they look at this girl that just killed somebody, and they're all like, okay, normal Tuesday, and then just kind of like...
Someone always dies in the cantina, or at least, not dies, but gets something cut off.
Yeah,
like, with Obi-Wan, you do not want to get in a cantina with Obi-Wan, because he will cut off your arm.
I always liked the cantina scene in New Hope, not because it's awesome, well, it is awesome, but, like, also because, like Greedo gets shot, because Han shot first, and Greedo dies, and then Han's just walking out, like, you didn't see anything, here's some money. You saw nothing.
I remember, it was so weird, I was playing Minecraft, and, like, there's these little messages that pop up. And, like, sometimes it'll be like, oh, Minecraft in color, oh, 100 and something. Yeah. And then once I saw Han shot first, I was like, what?
Yeah, that's happened to me. Also, one other one I saw was Ryan has fabulous hair. I'm like, I know a Ryan. But yeah, let's see. Let's see, cantina scenes. We didn't really see any. I don't think we really saw any in the prequels. Or it was kind of a cantina in episode 2, I believe. They went through that one cantina, and the only thing I really remember about that scene is there was a fight. I don't think anybody died, but I do remember that everyone's like someone was drinking or whatever, and everyone's like, "You want to go home and rethink your life? I want to go home and rethink my life."
You want to buy some death sticks? You don't want to buy some death sticks. I don't want to sell death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life. That was funny. I was like, if only we could do that to everyone. So,
it's kind of like Kanan and Ezra. I wish that worked for me. I wish that worked on you. It makes you wonder how many times has Ezra misbehaved, and Space Dad was like, "No, bad Ezra. Go to your room."
Yeah. Have you read the Sabine sketchbook?
I have.
So I love when she's talking about, like, she wants a pet, and so she wants, like, a Nexu or an Anuba.
A Nexu would be bad.
And Hera won't let her. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
I mean, they have Zeb, and he's hairy. And Chopper's, like...
sheds everywhere.
Chopper is the space cat.
Space cat.
In the Rebels crew, Hera is Space Mom, Kanan is Space Dad, Zeb, Ezra, and Sabine are Space Kids, and Chopper is, like, Space Cat. But no. Then I think from that sketchbook, I also remember that she liked music, which I'm like, yes, Sabine were the same person.
Yeah.
And she mentioned Bo-Katan and the Night Owls, which means she knows who they are, and that's like what I noticed.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know who they are.
Because she was probably just not even really a kid.
She was
when that happened.
She was 1 year old when the Order 66 happened, so she wasn't even. I don't think she would even she was either like not born yet or just born, like when that happened. So she probably read it somewhere. If you look at the Academy, like Sabine was kind of like Murray in the Zara Leonis books. Like she was like she could beat you up, and she was really sporty, but she was also like the book nerd, kind of. She studied and stuff.
I like in her sketchbook, it shows she's talking about that she could take pictures, and she takes pictures of the different worlds, and she listens to like Alderaan music. I was just like, oh, that's cool. Stuff from Alderaan.
Like when I read that, I'm like, I want to listen to this music now. I need to listen to this. But
and she could listen to it in her helmet too. I was just like, oh, she could listen to music while she's beating up bucketheads.
I wish my Sabine helmet could take pictures and listen to music. But and I did notice in the book when she's talking about Hera, she's like Hera's always supporting me, but she's not my mom. And she's like, Hera cares about all of us, especially Kanan. I'm like, yes, she does care, especially about Kanan.
They're like space married.
They are space married.
Hera.
Have you seen the new picture from the next episode? And Rex is like sitting there, like I guess talking or thinking or something. And like Kanan and Hera, I think Kanan is like sitting down on the table, and Hera's standing there and they're like holding hands and like they're space married.
I didn't see that.
I saw it. Kanan is like looking really sad. And Hera's like looking sad too, and they're like holding hands. I'm like, they're space married.
Space married. It's canon.
Space married.
Yeah. I know it sounds bad, but I want Sabine and Ezra together. That'd be so funny. It's terrible.
I kind of don't, because like, I mean, I have to admit, it would be kind of adorable, but like on the other hand, like we don't really have like a leading female character that doesn't have a love interest, because even Ahsoka in Lux, I did not like Ahsoka in Lux that much. But
I do not like Lux at all.
I don't like. Maybe I would kind of like him if he wasn't Ahsoka's love interest, but he was Ahsoka's love interest, then like kill him.
Kill him.
He didn't die.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't like it when he liked her for a second.
And then when he kissed her in that Death Watch camp, I'm like, no, get away from her!
No,
get away!
Run away! Wash your face now.
You don't deserve her.
And then I saw him with another girl. I was like, oh,
with Steela?
You.
I really liked Steela. And then, I mean, she was kind of like jealous, but like she seemed cool otherwise. And she stood for what she believed in. And she seemed really cool. And then she died. I'm like, why couldn't her brother die? I really liked her. That sounds terrible. That sounds really terrible, but I liked her better than her brother. And that makes her sound like a terrible person. But I liked her better than her brother. Her brother was really cool. He kind of like, now that I'm rewatching it, he kind of looks a little bit like Kanan. Like just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Whenever I see people with like just big noses, I'm just like, oh, that guy looks like Kanan.
And that one's Kanan, and that one's Kanan.
That one's Kanan. This is Kanan.
Kanan does have a pretty big nose, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Kanan does have the ponytail.
Oh, I love his ponytail. So cute.
All of the rebels have cool hair, except for Chopper, obviously. Because, Ezra's hair is cool, and Sabine's hair is amazing. hair doesn't really have hair, but her Lego were pretty cool. Kaden has
Yeah.
cool hair, and I guess Zeb has cool fur.
And Chopper, no hair.
No hair for Chopper. His little disc on top. That's his hat. He has
His
cool
top hat.
He has his Chopper top hat.
You could just Sabine could paint fake hair on him.
She would probably do that if he wanted. If someone was like, "Hey Sabine, go paint fake hair on Chopper," she'd be like, "Okay." Excuse to paint Chopper.
He shuts down. He just draw mustaches on him.
I feel like that's what Ezra and Zeb would do. Like, "Hey Sabine, can we borrow some paint?" Why? No reason.
No reason.
I feel like I
love
always
when
liked Chopper, when there was that other Imperial droid, and they're finally kind of like, "Hey, I kind of like this droid," and he's like, "Nope, I must be the only one." Push.
Oh my god!
I'm the only
I was
one.
like, Chopper, you're a murderer. And then it showed him alive. I was like, oh, okay, you're not a murderer no more, Chopper.
You're just a bad droid. Go sit in the corner, Space Cat. Go to your cage.
Yeah. It was funny.
Yeah. And they always kind of look at Chopper, but then they don't really punish him. They're just kind of like, "Chopper, why would you do that?" Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll do the comic codes now. So Star Wars Shattered Empire #1, the code is THM-Y8X-BFB-3NI. That's THM-Y8X-BFB-3NI. And the comic code for the first Lando issue is FMC-AOP-SYQ-F8N. That's FMC-AOP-SYQ-F8N. So the first listener to enter those comic codes in will get the comic, I guess. You should. They should work. I promise. But, yeah.
Yeah, my dad just got, I think it was, I don't remember. He got some new comics today. We went to a comic book store.
Oh, you said your dad. I thought you
to...
said your dog. I'm like, your dog got new comics? Like,
No, my dad.
So yeah, the comics. I haven't read Lando or Shattered Empire. I don't really know about Shattered Empire, but Lando seems really good. So check those out. And also check out the website, StarWarsGeekGirl.com, and please rate the podcast. I'm Zoe Hinton, and this was Lizzy Peralez, and thank you for listening.
Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.